Thank you. Dr. Jha, moving out from the U.S. borders for just a second, certainly one of the risks that faces this nation is additional spread from a big outbreak in China. Can you give us a sense of whether the U.S. government was aware or made aware in advance that Paxlovid would be made available in China? And can you give us any sense of what talks are happening behind the scenes, to help get Western vaccines and medicines to that country?
Yeah. So on the specific question of Paxlovid, the U.S. government was not involved in any way, and it was so really refer you to Pfizer, but we were not involved in that in any way, shape, or form. On the broader question you're raising, Jeff, what I would say is this: and since the beginning of this administration, the president has been very clear that we think it's really important for the world to benefit from the fruits of American scientific innovation. We have been the largest donor of vaccines in the world, almost 700 million doses, many bilateral, many through COVAX. And the president's been very clear. We stand ready to help any country that needs help in terms of vaccines, treatments, anything else. So that offer stands globally for any country that could benefit from it.
Would it be fair to characterize this as the U.S. and other Western countries are encouraging China to import mRNA vaccines, but not necessarily with U.S. or strong U.S. involvement? Does that give them cover that they need?
No, what I would say is we stand ready to help any country in the world with vaccines, treatments, anything else that we can be helpful with. We have been the biggest donor of vaccines, as I said, almost 700 million doses. And that stance of being helpful, being ready to help, continues and hasn't changed.
Thank you, Corinne. Dr. Jha, just to follow up on Jeff's question, with China relaxing its zero-COVID policies, what specific contingency plans do the administration have to deal with a potential outbreak or new variants, particularly with the increase of travel between the U.S. and China during the holidays and in the Lunar New Year? And do those considerations at this point include any talks of a travel ban?
Yeah, so we have a very robust surveillance program where we use for travelers as people come in terms of identifying people who are infected, tracking variants. That continues. And we generally are using wastewater, using other mechanisms, constantly monitoring for variants, both here as well as with our partners around the world, in Europe, in South Africa, in other places. I think all of that is a really important part of how we have become far more effective at being prepared for new variants. And if there are new variants that emerge, I'm confident that we will be able to identify them.
Thank you.